Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. Yeah, and tonight, it's time. It's that time of year again. And this is a mid-year freak-out book tag. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so yeah, it's this time again. Now I'm not sure actually who created this tag. It's been going for a long time. I will look it up and leave it down in the description. But I watched a video by Sin from Sin's Book Nook. She did her tag. And yeah, go check out her channel. It's a lot of fun. She talks books in an expert way. So yeah, there's 13 prompts. Before we go to the prompt, I just want to talk about a book I'm reading right now. In fact, people, yeah, I know it's halfway through the month already. It's the book I'm reading so far this month. It's been a bit disruptive this month, but yeah, it is a big book, to be fair. And that is Lonesome Dove by Larry Mingott. And I'm going to finish it tonight or tomorrow morning. So I'm like more than 3/4 of the way through, and I'm really enjoying it, people. Does it deserve to be on this list? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because I think I'm going to do a review. So yeah, that's Lonesome Dove. Okay, let's get on with the prompts. Prompt number 1. Best book you've read this year. Yeah. I'm not going to include Boy's Life, because I had already read that book. It's a reread. Otherwise, it would be the best book of the year, probably every year. It's in my top 5 books of all time. I absolutely adore that book, and I'm going to come back to that later. But the best book that I read this year, The Queen of Bedlam by Robert McCammon, and it might well be in contention for the book of the year. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm loving your series. And look, I might as well move on, because the second prompt says, best sequel you've read so far. That's, yeah, Matthew Corbett's series, The Queen of Bedlam. This is book 2. A lot of people prefer book 1, which we'll get to later. But I love this book, people. It's thrilling. It's full of excitement, full of danger, and it's got one of the best characters. One of my favourite new characters ever. That's another prompt coming up later. But yeah, it's also very dark, people. There's mystery. It's an historical horror. No, more like an historical fiction. Yeah, it's got a lot of horror elements. Robert McCammon writes a lot of horror. But I love this book. I really enjoyed myself. So yeah, best sequel and best book so far is The Queen of Bedlam. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing a read through with all the Robert McCammon books. The Matthew Corbett series. I think it's 10 books. We are on book 4 now. And I'm doing that with Nikhil from Esteem. And you need to check out his awesome channel. He's got a wonderful channel, people. He's also a composer. And he specializes in book to movie adaptations. He's done The Wheel of Time. He's done all sorts of amazing things. Yeah, so check him out. Oh, and a special mention has to be made of Lair by James Herbert. A brilliant sequel. I loved it more than the first. The rats. And yeah, this is a read-along with John at Disquiet and Dragons. We're chatting on his Discord. He's got a lovely channel, people. You really need to check him out. He talks about books in nature, in the English countryside. And yeah, he deserves more. He deserves more subscribers and love. So go check out his channel. That's John. But yeah, Lair was a better story with better characters. Really enjoyed it. Still maybe only a 4.5 star, but a lot of gory, brutal, bloody fun. Lair. Prompt number 3. New releases you haven't read yet but want to. I'm not a huge fan of new releases, but 2 books that I've heard spoken about. I'm going to talk about one. First one is Never Flinch by Stephen King. I love Holly. I know that a lot of constant readers are not as fond of her, and they're kind of sick of her because he's written about her so many times. But I want to read this book because I love the book Holly. What is 5-star for me. And yeah, I've heard a couple of disappointing reviews about this book, Never Flinch. But I'm going to make up my own mind, people. Because yeah, I enjoy the character. I appreciate the fact that Stephen King loves the character. And he's got a right at his age. He wants to write about what he wants to write. He's still a brilliant storyteller. And yeah, I don't think he's ever going to go back to it and Cujo. So that's not what he does. But I love the character. And she's feisty and she's interesting. So I'm going to read Never Flinch. And the second one is The Lamb by Lucy Rose. Now I've heard a couple of reviews on this. I think it's been released very recently. And I just want to read something to you. Margot and Mama have lived by the forest ever since Margot can remember. When Margot is not at school, they spend quiet days together in their cottage, waiting for strangers and strays to knock on their door. Mama calls them people who have strayed too far from the road. Mama loves the strays. Yeah, she loves them very much. She feeds them wine, keeps them warm. Then she picks them apart, their bodies, and toast them off with vegetable oil. Yeah, Mama's delightful. But I think there's a lot more twists and turns to the story. What I've seen on booktube sounds really good. Very good things. So yeah, The Lamb. I like my lamb medium rare. Thank you. Okay, prompt number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now, every year I leave out this question. The reason I leave it out is because there's 2 reasons. Number 1, I like to read books that have been reviewed already, at least a couple of times. Just get a feel whether it's worth my money, or whether it's worth my time, money to go and buy it. And also, I live in South Africa. A new release is not. I'm not going to be able to read Never Flinch for quite a while. It's going to be super expensive. I have to import it. Yeah, unless it got incredible rave reviews, I would have said, okay, I'm going to import this book, even if it costs R1,000, which is a lot of money. But it hasn't got superb reviews, so I'll have to wait and see. I think I might read The Lamb maybe next year. That's just the way things work for me. So yeah, I don't do anticipated releases. Prompt number 5, biggest disappointments. Right, I've got a couple, another one I'm going to mention later. I was really disappointed in Zombie by Joyce Carol Oates. Now I expected this to be super disturbing, kind of in the mind of a serial killer, and you kind of are. But for me the writing was terrible. I could not get into the narrative. I actually spoke about this book. You know, I got through halfway. I got through a little bit. And it probably gets a hell of a lot worse from here, from when I put it down. But I just couldn't anymore. Yeah, the narrative was terrible. And the way he referred to people around him. Never used names, he used initials, including his parents and himself. And just, it was a mess. I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, Zombie was a big disappointment. Okay, prompt number 6 is biggest surprise. I had to think about this a little bit because there's a couple of books that took me by surprise. I might get to one of them in the next prompt, but this one really took me by surprise. Because although I like vintage horror, I did not expect to enjoy this collection of short stories as much as I did. And that is the 5th Pan Book of Horror Stories, edited by Herbert Van Tal, or selected by Herbert Van Tal. Now, I didn't know these authors, not one. And yet a lot of these stories are brilliant. So I'm really surprised. And I think I'm definitely going to look for more entries into this series. I know it's kind of a, I don't know if it's a favourite, but maybe it's a cult favourite, or it's a beloved series. But yeah, I'm going to go and look for more of these in our local bookshop, our second-hand bookshop, where I found this in another one, I think 23 or 24. So it's a long-running series. I'm going to go and try and find the first few. Yeah, that's a Pan book of horror stories. Big surprise to me, in a good way. Prompt number 7. Favorite new author, either debut or new to you? And there are a couple of choices here. Gwendolyn Christ, I can't remember the name of the book now. There were a couple of books that I really enjoyed. Now, this author wrote the first book in the series, and the fact that she's a favorite potentially is that I'm going to continue the series. And that is Diana Rowland, My Life is a White Trash Zombie. I'm going to cover up there, and I'm going to keep it up for the next prompt as well. Because yeah, it's a great series, it's a fun book, and we spoke live about it, people, myself and Chris and Kat, and we had a live discussion which was a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm dying to find out what happens to this character Angel. She's the best part of the book, and her character arc is pretty amazing. And it's also very unique. It's not what you expect at all. And that made me worried, because when I started reading it and I looked at the cover and I thought, now I like my Romero, I like my slow zombie. But this is like kind of inside the protagonist, who's a zombie. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. And she's got this voice and she's got this thing about her that really made me enjoy myself. Which brings us to the next one. Newest fictional crush. Okay, people, before you turn off, I don't normally do crushes, okay? But I reckon as long as Angel can keep herself together, literally, you know, then she's a keeper. Don't look at the cover. She just needs to keep herself together. You know, I like my woman kind of tough, and doesn't matter if they're a little bit low life, you know. You're not smiling at that.
Like Megan Fox.
Trashy, like Megan Fox, yeah. No, but the thing is that Angel is tough. He's tough, he's resourceful, very smart, and yeah, very street smart. And I really enjoyed her decisions she's made, and the decisions she makes. I'm looking forward to the rest of the series, because she was a lot of fun. I wouldn't call her a crush. Okay, I'm maybe going a bit far with this. As long as she has her brains, you know, not my brains, I might leave her alone, you know. Okay, we'll stop talking now. Stop talking. Oh, before we get to the next problem, my wife mentioned Megan Fox because that was a crush of mine. This might be a bit over the hill now for me. Could be in real trouble with that statement later. But let's get to the next prompt. Newest favourite character. People, Matthew Corbett. You know, my favourite character in fiction was always Roland from Stephen King's Dark Tower series. Matthew Corbett is awesome. You know, he's very wise, he's very curious, like kind of a historical Sherlock Holmes. He's a lot of fun, and yeah, and he's also flawed, as we find out as you go through the series. He has decisions to make, and he makes bad decisions. He has to learn from them, and he has to grow. But he's an awesome kind of, yeah, Sherlock Holmes from historical fiction. But these books are dark, people. This is not Sherlock Holmes. It's not. It's very dark. It's Robert McCammon, who wrote Swan Song, who wrote Boy's Life. Okay, that's not so dark, but he wrote lots of horror. And yeah, he puts his touch into the series. So yeah, I love Matthew Corbett as a character. Prompt number 10. Books that made you cry. First half of the year. Now I'm going to go to again. First of all, once again, Boy's Life. People, it's magnificent if you have not read that book. And I don't have it with me, you know why? Because my parents visited. And I loaned it to my dad, who loves to read. And I got feedback from my mom, who said he's really enjoying it, even though it's different to what he's used to. I'm not sure what meant by that. Kind of, he likes his thrillers, but yeah, I hope he enjoys it. But it's a beautiful book, and it's heartbreaking in places. it always makes me cry. It's a coming of age story that I love very, very much. Very close to me, very close to my heart. But the other book that made me cry that I read this year for the first time is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. Now, it's also an amazing movie, and it has heartbreaking moments, people, that, yeah, I'm not going to give away the story or the plot. I actually spoke about this book, set in a psychiatric hospital. I think it's in a, I'm making stuff up, I think it's 60s, early 60s, late 50s. Yeah, and it's pretty messed up. The character that goes there and just turns things upside down, and the psychotic nurse. It's kind of battle of worlds between this character, Jack Nicholson, and his nurse. And it's narrated by this huge Native American who's apparently deaf and dumb, but he's just acting, and he can actually hear everything and see everything that's going on, and he tells a story, and he's far more prominent in the book than the movie. But yeah, I really loved this book. I really enjoyed this book. I can't remember what I said in my review. I'm making things up now, but it's a brilliant book, and it's a brilliant movie, so do yourselves a favour. I think it's quite controversial as well, but like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I cried. I cried. I cried. Prompt number 11. Books that made you happy. Happy. Okay. This was a reread for me, and this book always lifts my soul. And that is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. The prose is so delicious. It's gorgeous. It drips off your tongue. And yeah, it's about a carnival, which always makes me happy, even if it's a dark carnival that rolls into town. And the boys and the father. It's just an absolutely beautiful story. But I've spoken about this book so many times, people. I can't keep talking about this book. But I have to say, there's one scene at the end. And those of you that have read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Kind of climactic, but I'm not going to say anything. It just made me so happy and so thrilled and yeah, so excited, like laughing, happy. Yeah. So yeah, that's Something Wicked This Way Comes. And another book. Well, this is Creepshow. Okay. George Romero film. And I love this movie. And my wife bought me this. And I loved reading this. And you know that little boy on the cover? The little boy in the film at the beginning? Who sticks, I think he's got a voodoo doll. He sticks things into the voodoo doll. That's Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. But yeah, I love these stories. I love the movies. I've seen Creepshow 1 and 2. Creepshow 1 is the best. This is Creepshow 1. And yeah, illustrations are awesome. Lonesome Death of Geordie that's Stephen King. He stars. That's his only starring role, as far as I know, in all of his movies, in all his adaptations. He's played a lot of characters where he's a kind of side character. Lots of them. But this, he starred in this little short called Lonesome Death of Geordie. Makes me happy. The next prompt makes me very sad, people. Very sad. Because it's the most beautiful book you bought so far or received this year. Lost Gods by Brom. DNF Lost Gods by Brom. Imported. Incredible illustrations. It's just a beautiful book. And I was so upset that I DNF'd it. But yeah, you know what? I think I think it was in April when I tried to read it. And yeah, I have like these mood swings. And it's not easy sometimes when you're really depressed to keep reading a book. And Brom is beautiful. I want to read it. I want to pick it up again. It's such a beautiful book. And I really want to read it. I just don't know when. So yeah, I was disappointed. I just could not get into it. I can't remember why. I think it was just too much happening at once, and you couldn't really follow what was going on. Kind of in hell or purgatory or whatever, and all sorts of stuff being pulled left, right and centre. And I was just going, what the is going on? So I put it down, which I'm sad about, but hopefully I'll pick it up again. Okay. Bookmarks of South Africa. Prompt number 13. And what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Now there's so many people. Loads on my Kindle that I want to read. But I'm not going to deal with them now. I just pulled some books off my bookshelf. 4 here that I would like to get to by the end of the year. But there's so many people. I mean, I'm going to be doing a book haul of close to 18, 20 books in the next week or so. That's, yeah, kind of breaking the bank, but we want to splurge a bit in books that I really want to read and want to receive. So look out for that book haul. Okay, the first one, Best British Horror 2014. I believe it's a series as well. But I love the cover. I love short stories now. So I'm definitely going to dip into that. Then I've got Lauren Björk's Broken Monsters. And now she's a thriller writer, and she's a South African thriller writer. Best-selling South African thriller writer. So yeah, I want a killer who will tear you apart. I want to dip into her. I haven't read any by her yet. I think I've also got The Shining Girl somewhere. So one of those. But I think Broken Monsters sounds better. And then I have not read Ronald Malfi. No, I think I have. Did I read that book? Blackmouth. I heard that it's got It vibes, so that makes me a little bit excited. And yeah. Riveting, bloody and cosmic. The novel will tear you apart. Yeah. I'm not going to read the back. So Blackmouth. And then finally, and this is an author that I'm binging, people. Might be overtaking Stephen King as my favourite author. It's a Matthew McCorbett series. It keeps getting better and better. But this is an older novel, a horror novel, and it's called The Wolf's Hour. And it's one I've been wanting to read for a long time. And I found the book. Not exactly in the best state, but yeah. And it's a werewolf who kills Nazis. He's on a secret mission in Germany, I think, World War II. And yeah, you can transform into a werewolf. And I love World War II. I love everything about that. So, The Wolf's Hour. Once again. Okay everyone, that's my video for today. I am going to tag a few people down below. Not hundreds and hundreds. This is a really good tag to do. It's just fun to kind of assess where you are. The books you've read so far in the year, halfway through the year. And yeah, I do this every year. It's fun. But yeah, I hope you let me know down in the spaces below how you're doing. Have a conversation with me. If you read those books, talk to me. Which one's your favourite? What's your favourite book of the year so far? That's a good question. What's your favourite book of the year so far? I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, as always, take care of yourselves. Take out there. Keep those pages turning, and cheers.